So yeah, we're live. Thank you for everyone for joining us for this interview with Vic. That's you go by Vic, yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you for making the time, Vic. I appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. I initially saw your photography work, and what intrigued me about it was that you were working with black and white as your main medium, or grayscale rather. Is there any particular reason for that, or do you just prefer it?
Uh, I think I kind of fell in love with Monochrome. It was 2018. 2018, I started doing a lot of black and white, and just fell in love with the style and a lot of things. Because for me, I feel like the kind of photography that do it really suits the black and white because of the timelessness feeling, and I think it evokes a lot of feelings. And yeah, I just fell in love and kept doing it. So been doing it since 2018.
And I'm guessing it's it's mostly digital work that you do.
The ones minted, yes. I do a lot of digital work, but just for myself. Sometimes I do like take films as well. But with those ones, it's I love to experiment as well. Like do like this like color films. Try it with like different ones, see how it looks. But those ones is just to like experiment, have fun with. But mostly digital, yes.
Gotcha, gotcha. And in terms of these landscapes here, is it all done in Nepal, which is where you're from, correct?
Yeah, yes, all from Nepal.
Have you lived there all your life? That's where you were born.
Yeah, I was born in Nepal, but moved around quite a bit because my father was working for like these like NGOs, and we were always moving. And I think like also just in Nepal, we weren't in like one city. We were moving a lot, but yeah, like moved around here and there, but always came. Like Nepal was always home. Um, so, and I'm still doing that, like been here a couple of years, but I still go back home. I have a family there, so yeah.
Oh, gotcha, gotcha. Did you? Is that how you came into photography, into like getting all these landscapes for inspiration? Is like through your moves, as your father like switched locations and whatnot, or?
I think like ever since I was a kid, like I was always this kind of kid that was looking out the window of a car when we were going on family trips. I wasn't the kind of kid, like sleeping in the car on family vacations and stuff like this. So I was quite interested in it. Um, but I think like later it was like only later on I kind of like fell in love with documenting people and places. But also for inspiration, yes, I would say like just being in Nepal was like kind of like really eye opening because the country is really diverse. You have um, all different aspects of like hills, mountains, and when we were moving a lot, you see different things, different city. And I think that was also like one of the aspects that I fell in love with photography later on, having those experiences like early as a kid.
Oh, gotcha. I see. I see. When did you first start doing photography? Like not like officially or as a job, but just when you first picked it up.
Like, uh, I was actually, it's a really good question. I was actually looking back at my old family photos when I was like really a kid, and I just wanted to put them together. Just walking down memory lane, and I found out that I always had this case of a camera back then, or a camera with me in my hand. I was like even taking photos of my family when I was in high school. I was the one taking this old automatic film camera with me and taking
Hmm.
photos. But I think that I was always doing photography, but it was only later on I realized, like this is something that I really want to do for the rest of my life, and like try to make a living out of it.
What is it that draws you to it? What do you think? What do you think it is about photography um, that captured you in a way like no other thing can? Because I'm assuming like any kid, you grew up going to school, drew with pencils or like finger paints or and whatnot. But why is it that photography stuck out to you?
For me personally, I would say holding that moment is something that really speaks to me. This sense of everything is temporary. The moment, the people you see on the street, or the glimpses you catch, is just something about it that really speaks to me. um, and I feel like it needs to be documented. There is a story to be told about the people or the places. And
I see. Okay.
look at photographs from like old eras. It does something to me. It really does something to me which I cannot like explain. And like it's for the same reason, like to leave behind something, and yeah, to hold memories for sure.
Gotcha, gotcha. Understood. And did you start out with a digital camera or did you like have a film? Because me myself, like, growing up, my mom had this old like shitty film camera that I picked up first, um, just because digital was like way too expensive to get a DSLR back then, um, and film is just a lot easier to work with, I find. But did you start with digital all the time, or?
No, I think when like started taking photographs, it was this like really old uh, film camera, but it was this automatic where you don't have any settings. You don't need to change any settings or anything. You just load the film, and it does, like it everything sets it up for you, and you just take photos. So I did it with those as well. And when the first like small digital cameras started coming out, these compact ones. Um, so my father had it, and I was using that to take photos. Also, and later on, I think I went even like did photography with my mobile. It was iPhone 5 back then. So I was like taking just doing. I didn't have any camera, so I was just doing with that as well. And then later on moved to digital one.
Okay, and sorry, so when you said the film cameras, like they would automatically change the aperture and like the focus and everything?
Yeah, like you didn't even need to change like anything. It's just like auto, everything auto.
Do you remember what the name of the camera is? Because I'm actually curious to know.
It was probably a Kodak. You just like load this film, and then it does everything for you.
'Cause I've never heard of a film camera that like auto adjusts. I remember like the one that I had, there was a little not a dial but like a range that it would show you in the bottom right to let you know like what f-stop number you should use depending on the light
Yeah.
exposure. But I've never heard of a film camera that was automatic focus and everything. Is it this one?
Let me have a look. I was just checking it. So, no, not that one. It's more these like compact ones. Probably the first one.
Oh, like one of these?
Yes.
Oh, like a tourist camera.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant like it was something more like this, where it automatically adjusted, and I was like, how the hell, like, what kind of technology did you have? Like, what the like? Because I like these, yeah, these are simple. They're just point and click. Yeah, yeah. You literally just
Yes.
point and click. Oh, okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
exactly. It's point and
Understood.
shoots. Yes.
Understood. Yeah, I don't see many of these anymore. You used to see them all the time in like stores and whatnot, but sadly they kind of gone away. I mean, I get it. Like everyone's got phones. Fine, okay, but there's something about like having just like a little shitty plastic camera that like you can drop on the floor and it's not gonna break, and you know that it's temporary. There's just something special about that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's completely different shooting on a phone and a camera itself. Like, if you compare, even like if you even compare those like point and shoots to the mobile phones these days, I mean, the tech right now it's thousand times better than what it is, but it's just the act of like having the camera in your hand, and then you pick it up to like just click that shutter is different feeling, and it's fun, and it's really fun. And I think like these days it's more nostalgic with, like the colors you get and everything, and they are kind of like still around. You get them in these secondhand shops.
Mm-hmm.
There are like analog camera shops, second hands and stuff like this around, or like flea markets. You still see them around. Yeah, it's just as a photographer, it gets too much because you have this habit of like collecting cameras, and you have a lot of them, and you don't know which one you will like take. Even do you even use it or not? But yeah, it's really fun to shoot for sure. Just experimenting with different ones.
Oh yeah, no, I'm all too familiar, man. I got a collection of lenses that have been sitting, like, not getting used for the longest time. Because I prefer either the 18 to 55, which is like my average, like every day. Like if I just need to go to a family event or something, it captures everything. Or like a macro lens if I'm gonna go like look at some, I don't know, flowers or something that I want to get zoomed in on. But like everything else, I don't really have a need for. They're just like fun shiny toys that lay around.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like that's the problem. Like we kind of like start hoarding a lot of gears, and it becomes too much for us later on. We don't know when to stop. I think like that's one of the things of being a photographer, or like even somebody that likes photography. You start hoarding a lot of stuff, and it's fun, and it's fun too.
Yeah, and I understand why certain brands like they want to differentiate their lenses and their technology so that like they're not always like cross compatible, but it's like the most frustrating thing because whenever like I look into getting gear, I have to make sure that it specifically like fits like my camera and has like all the proper specifications and everything. Um but I find that the secondhand market is actually like fairly reliable for camera work. Like you don't have to buy everything brand new for it to be like a good lens. Chances are like you can just by looking at it tell if it's good or not or if it's damaged or anything like that. Um, and I have no idea what new things they're coming out with because what is there's a name for the type of sensor. Is it, I don't know if it's full frame. I forget. I haven't done it in a while. But Sony has like these cameras that are let me see
You
if I
mean the
can.
mirrorless?
Yes, I think it's no, it's not the lens, it's the let
The
me see if
mirrorless.
mirrorless. Yes, mirrorless. My mistake. I misheard you there. Yeah, the mirrorless cameras that cost like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
What's their benefit?
To be honest, like I don't use a mirrorless. I don't know too much about it. I'm just using a DSLR, and that is all. But I think like with mirrorless, it's like you don't have this like shutter count or something like this. I'm not
Hmm.
too much familiar with like mirrorless.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, I was just comparing like because you mentioned the iPhone 5 earlier as well. Just the camera
Yeah,
size in general. Like, I mean, look at this tiny little thing that you have up here, and now like the latest phones have this giant like three-way zoom, which is just
yeah.
insane to think about. Like how far we've come in that tech. That now you can take like quality photos. But why is maybe you can help me answer this. Why is the iPhone incapable of taking photos of the moon?
No idea. That's a crazy one, right? That's a crazy one. But I think like it happens with
Like it's always
like
like
normal
this.
photography. Yeah,
It's always
yeah,
like this. It's never. I want it like this. I don't. I want it. I want it to look like this. I don't want it to look like I'm looking at a light.
yeah. Maybe you need to like have this Samsung one where it like auto fakes the moon every time you point it to the
They
uh
auto fake
point it
it?
to the yes, I don't know, like it's did you see this there
No
was this
way. Like they actually like use
yeah,
AI or something to fake the image of the moon?
yes, like people were sharing it online. I don't know how much a truth it is, and it was like even if you point it towards a bright light and it's just some kind of like table lamp or anything, it would fake it as a moon.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
so
I've
maybe
always heard on the internet that like, oh, like androids are the best if you want like night shots and whatnot. Look how clear it is. But if this is true, then wow.
yeah, it's crazy where AI is taking us in terms of like photography, and you don't even you wouldn't even know like if it's photography or is just like AI generated. It's wild.
Interesting. I'm actually curious. What? Hold on. Explain the story behind Samsung faking moon photo capabilities for phones. Let's see if we can maybe get an answer here. Do you play around much with AI in your work?
Not so much. Just I think in terms of like AI, the like removing tools, removing like distractions, has gotten a lot of better. Where now you don't have to select it manually and everything. So for those ones, yes, I use the AI, but mostly not.
And what
Mostly
kind
not.
of tools do they have like in cameras these days? Do you know? Like if they have already implemented AI in the actual hardware itself?
The camera itself, like DSLRs and with these
Yeah.
like mirrorless.
Yeah, because like it's one thing if it's on the software side, you know, if it's just on the computer. But do you know if there's any like I'm guessing like image stabilization, they would want to use AI for that.
Yeah, I think like yeah, this image stabilizer. I think, but mostly I think cameras. I'm not so much for like manipulating stuff, or but you can definitely do a lot of creative stuff with it. You know, like in camera double exposures and stuff where you can have like nine different shots. Um, and put them all together like layer upon layer, so yeah, for like creative stuff like you can do it, but I don't know, the one I have doesn't have like any AI features and stuff like this. It's just some creative tools you can use to like experiment, so yeah.
Gotcha, gotcha. And yeah, it looks like here the Samsung controversy was that they had a deep learning model that was trained on all the images of the moon, and it would take 10 images and then combine them using what's known as their super resolution technology. And
Yeah,
then it would use detail enhancement to essentially like draw from all the training data to make it. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, that's not I don't know how I feel about that because at the end of the day, what the cool thing, as you said about photography when we started the interview, was that you're able to capture moments in time as they happen. But
yeah,
this is taking that and kind of twisting it because now you're not capturing a moment that actually happened. You're capturing a moment and then using training data to enhance what that moment would look like. It's like if you had the same photo of like let's say one of your pieces here, right? And then the AI was like, "Oh, there's actually this little detail about the church that needs to be changed." Then it would edit it, but it's not actually based on like reality or what you see in front of you. Now
yeah,
you're actually changing the image.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that is a little bit wild, to be honest, but I think this is like one thing that will keep being there, and it will only keep evolving, keep getting better and everything. So, um, yeah, I think like that is also like one of the reasons like I feel like photography has like will like have a places, because later down the road people might want to like look back at real people, their real moments and everything, since like everything will be AI generated and it's not showing you the actual stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean because I've had this thought before where like just about every photo that's been taken since before around 2018, 2019 when the first beta models were released online for people's usage. Every photo that's taken before then, or every image that's online, even if it's been like photoshopped, there's still a layer of authenticity to it because you know for a fact that AI was not involved in the making or the editing of that image, regardless if Photoshop was involved. And then everything afterwards, you're just kind of suspect, looking at every single image, wondering what parts of it were edited by AI. Um, and that actually leads me
Right.
to my next question. Do you find these days that it's difficult for um, someone to make inroads in the photography industry with just how accessible iPhones are and cameras and like AI techniques and whatnot? Do you think that there's still a chance for people to make a living doing something like that?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like me personally, I find um, at the end of the day, people want to connect with you in terms of, like, let's say, even if have you're doing like event photography and you want to hire, like a photographer, um, not only because like the guy takes the photos, but the the guy makes you feel, the person or the photographer makes you feel comfortable, makes you like see part of you that you don't see in yourself, so like these things like kind of matter as well, but yeah, like completely get what you mean, like when it's so accessible for people to just like take photo with your phone, and put it through a software, AI software that makes you the background. If you are an e-shop company and you have like online products, you don't need a photographer anymore. Like take a
Mm-hmm.
photo, upload it to somewhere, it generates this amazing like professional like product photography and stuff like this. So like those things kind of like you would still, like you could still get in, because the style you may do, or the tricks you can pull it off, the colors and everything might not be the same that other people can generate, like it's your vision, so you can still be able to do it. But yes, I mean, like some of the industry, like it can be like hard to get in, because people have it so accessible, they can do it by themselves, but at the same time, I think it also opens this door for photographers to really think like what kind of photography they want to do, and try to really master their craft, like be good at like what they're doing, and there will still be market for like photography in general. It's always been there. There will always be, like not only because of, like I said, it's the camera, but it's also the person behind it who's doing it. So people love to connect.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it's not just about like taking a photo. It's about understanding composition, and knowing even simple things of like don't take a photo against the sun of like unless you're actually like looking for that kind of a perspective. I mean, like the amount of times like I'm out with family and we're taking a group photo, like yeah, I have to like rotate them. I was like, no, the photo's got to come out shit. Just turn around the the other way. And especially for something like a wedding, where you would want to perfectly capture like all the different moments throughout the day. There's not really like an AI or even like a robot that's capable of doing anything like that right now. So you certainly need that kind of personal touch to it because as you said, it's like if you're just taking photos of your product, like yeah, you can use your phone or like a basic shitty DSLR for it. You don't need to hire like a photographer and have a shoot, but there's still like that need for that human touch of it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I think like also, when you said this, like it came to my mind, like it's also about like knowing when to click it, like these, let's say like let's say there is a time where you would have a robot and can take a photo for you, but it's also like the timing of those photos, like 1 second, in 1 second the expression changes, the body posture changes, and that same photo in a second could look completely different a second ago. So
Mm-hmm.
also like knowing like when to click it, and it's all about the vision, of a photographer, like when to click it, what emotions to like capture and everything. So it all depends like on individuality. It doesn't depend on, like there is this set of rules that everybody does the same thing. No, like it's knowing moments, and everybody has their own, we all see things differently, and that's the beauty of it. So I think, yeah, that also like comes into play, like when you're like documenting moments, and like people, and you as a client, like they hire you to document it because they like what you create and stuff like this. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. Now, in terms of your experience as a photographer, did you like go to school for any of this stuff, or is it just all that you learned from home and from your own experience?
And most of my work, I learned from my own experience. The only course I had for photography was, when I decided, all right, I want to like do photography, and I took this crash course on photography back home. It was 3 months, and you just, and those times you just learn how to use the gear, like like if I change this setting here, it will do this, like it will do that. But mostly it was just going around taking a lot of photographs, and looking at a lot of work as well, like from other photographers. But mostly I think, I had a friend with me back home when I started photography, and we used to go do these like photo walks in back home in Kathmandu, go different places during different times, different days, to the city, and just walk around for hours trying to take photos. So that kind of like helped me a lot.
Yeah, there's no better teacher, especially when it comes to film photography, than messing up a reel yourself. Like it just accidentally exposing like
Yeah,
the
for sure.
the the backlatch, or getting the wrong exposure time, or what have you. There's no better teacher than having to waste that and then have to start again.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing that everybody keeps telling you is, like all the master photographers and everyone you hear and you take advices from, they always say the same thing, just go out and shoot more. Because it's not, because I think it's not, now I know that it's not because you get better because you shoot more. I feel it's because you go out there, you shoot, and then you come back home, and then put it to your laptop, and then you see it on the screen, and then you see the shots that you could have taken, but you missed it. And
Hmm.
like you made mistakes out of that composition and those competitors. So yeah, like you just think about, aha, so it kind of like trains you in a way that, all right, next time I see this scene, I know I need to take this one, I know this place. Because more often in my like like the work I do is like I also go to the same place like many times. I miss a lot of shots. I don't find the right subject sometimes. I don't The light is not right. I find out like I came during the bad lighting. So it's just like you go next time, and then you kind of like take it. So yeah, it kind of like helps a lot more when you like go out and shoot.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I totally see exactly what you're saying. Um, Now, in terms of people getting started in this business in like the modern context of photography, um, what would you say would be not an ideal path, but like one of the ways that people can go about actually getting noticed, so that they're not just posting photos on Instagram, but that eventually they can land a gig, or actually like start getting some work. Like, what is the entry into that business look like nowadays? Because before, I would imagine um, you would either go to school for it or do a lot of work for some magazines like National Geographic or Life magazine, or any of these big firms that then just send in works and keep sending them in until you get noticed, and then you would go from there. But nowadays, since magazines are not nearly as big as they used to be, I would figure that changed, especially with the internet. So like, what can you tell me about what it's like to actually start like making a living off of this kind of work?
I think like I've been finding out that it's all about like meeting people in general, um, and it's something that we have to like do it regardless if you're like introvert or extroverted. It's like you just put yourself you have to put yourself out there, and I think like collaborate with also like people, like maybe you like what I do in some of my work is like I find I meet somebody in my friend's party or like brunches, or like there is some event, or and I just go and speak to people, introduce myself and like get to know them and everything. And I also like offer them like, hey, like would you want to like do a photo shoot with me, and I take photos of them and everything. And like kind of like it's of course like you as an artist, you're not getting paid sometimes for sure, but at the end of the day, it's also like people, like if you are able to give like good feelings to the people, they recommend you. And they'll be like, hey, like I would recommend my friend to you. And so it's always it kind of like really helps, like just networking with people, like meeting people, and like going to different ways. And yeah, so like that is what I've been doing, and it's been kind of like working out a little bit.
Oh, okay, so networking has become a bigger part of it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, like even like going, I think just in general, like speaking to people, I think helps a lot. Like I have like couple of friends that are like not photographers or anything, but they play some kind of music, or they do like DJs, and they do like some coffee events. Sometimes they are playing somewhere. You go there, and like mostly you find a lot of people there, and just connect, talk to, and everything. And people are usually, they ask a lot of, like they want to know about you as well, like as much as you want to know about other people. They want to know what you do, like what are you doing there and everything. So it kind of like opens a door for something. They might know somebody that is looking for a photographer, or if you're, let's say, like if you're a kind of artist that is doing like fine art photography, and are looking for like galleries, or people that can like exhibit your work and everything. So like it kind of like really helps you, because you never know what that person can bring to the table, or might um like introduce you to somebody that will really help you in your journey. So I think like just meeting people in general is like one of the best ways.
Yeah, and I've even seen some people, photographers and videographers alike, like they'll they'll just go into a business and say like, "Hey, I noticed that your the photos on your website are like really outdated, and like they could use a lot of work. And here's some examples of the stuff that I've done before, and I can certainly like help you guys out in terms of like taking photos for the menu if it's a restaurant, or clothing if it's like some kind of a brand." But even doing something like as little as that will eventually get you like a customer, especially if it's a small business.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Like it's always like this. I think like if you hear stories about photographers who's been doing photography for 18 years, 20 years, 15 years, you hear a lot of old photographers saying like they went door to door. They even went door to door asking businesses and people like, hey, like do you want me to take a photo of like something of your website, or like for your headshots for the company and everything. So yeah, mostly it is like that. And um you have to put it as a photographer, if you want to make it. I feel like you have to put yourself out there. You have to.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I figured as much. And in terms of platforms, I'm guessing like Instagram is still like one of the best to showcase your work on, or because I know like Flickr exists, but I don't really know anybody that like gets recognized off of Flickr? Because I know like they still have like huge community, and it's a great resource for people to just upload photos there.
Yeah, I think like Instagram is still like one of the places where you can like share a lot of your work. I think like having like TikTok and everything, it just depends on like how you market yourself. But yeah, like all of these platforms, they all have their pros and cons. But at this, like I just look at it as, this the platforms are there for you to use it, and try to do it as better as you can. Not do something that it's not true to you, but use those platforms for like bringing in clients, or like even like sharing your work and everything.
Gotcha, gotcha. I see. And what is it that brought you to Prague? Is that where you reside now?
Yeah, I met my previous partner in Nepal, and then she was from Czech, so that was the reason I kind of moved here. But also, it was a city that I looked at on TVs and heard a lot about. So yeah, it was like some place that I really wanted to be as well, and yeah, that I think that was one of those reasons that brought me to Czech Republic in the beginning, and then later on moved to Prague.
Gotcha, gotcha. Is it just like the scenery of the city, or like what is it about it that kind of drew you to it?
The architecture, I would say, the architecture is really beautiful. It has this kind of medieval vibe to it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it just goes with the kind of photography I do, and like adding like people to the architecture and everything. It's just something about it, like it's really nice city. And like I looked at this work from Josef Sudek. He's this one of these master photographers from Czech, and he was doing like a lot of this pictorialist style of photography, and how he documented the city and everything. So I was really intrigued with that as well. And yeah, that was like one of the reasons that I wanted to also like move to Prague, from the village I was living in, and then start documenting the city, and just exploring the city and documented, um, because the the light and everything just hits really different. And I feel people are much relaxed here in the city. So yeah. And I think like one of the things, Prague is quite good for street photographers, is not so big, and you can practically walk the whole city, and it's never the same. The streets are never the same. The light is always hitting differently. So yeah, I just wanted to um, come here, like experience the life, and take photos of the city, because it's stunning. It's stunning for sure.
Yeah, it is actually very tiny once you zoom out here. Interesting. Yeah, there is something about these old cities in Europe that like they've maintained all the old architecture from the past, and there's all these modern businesses built around it. Like I'm sure you can find a place where there's all these like grand churches, and then like 2 3 blocks down there's an Apple store.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I think Prague kind of like still preserves a lot of history. Like when you walk around Prague, you will see mostly like historical buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course, like when you go a bit out of the city, you see this like brutalism, kind of like architecture, and it's mostly for um people that are living in Prague, and it's for the residents and everything. But inside the city, you will find like still this old charm of Prague, you know, because the architecture is still intact. Not much like modern building and everything. So yeah, like that is really beautiful thing about Prague.
Yeah, not really a lot of like skyscrapers or anything like that. Almost everything has like 4 or 5 floors to it.
Yeah, yeah, not at all. It's all these like baroque buildings. Still, like you don't see a lot of modern architecture inside the city. Like there are a lot around the city, like outskirts of city where people are living, but inside the city, no, no, no. I think like they still like really preserve it, and they even have like tough regulations on people that wants to build something new. So yeah, it's not easy. So they still preserve it, and it's really nice. It's really nice, and you know, like to be able to like um, go to the city and document it. It's you, and then you still feel like, you know, for me it feels like I still can capture this like timeless photographs, because the architecture still supports, you know, like what I do, and it isn't like ruined with like modern architecture and everything. So it still holds for me. So yeah, it's nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city. I'd definitely like to visit sometime. Do they like? Is it only like Czech that they speak there, or do they still like have a lot of English there as well?
No, you can like if you travel here as a tourist, I think like you can get by with English. There are of course like places that will still they will only speak Czech. But in Prague, I think you can get away with just speaking English.
Yeah, because even something like this, um, very very beautiful. You got the businesses at the bottom, cafes and whatnot, but up top, I'm guessing like this is where like all the apartments are.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Interesting.
it's really beautiful part. I think like even if you look at uh Old Town Square, um in Prague, you will find that one. There is another one close to Malastrana. Like if you put like Malastrana, you will see like these like old architecture. It's still nice. Like you still have a lot of places w- like where you can like walk around and everything, and then you don't see like modern architecture, and you still feel like you're walking in time itself. You know, like it's really nice. Like of course during the day hours and like peak hours, it's so many people there, and it's like hard to like get around. But if you kind of really like sometimes wake up early and wander around, it's so beautiful. You have the whole city to yourself. It's really nice. It feels like you're walking back in time. Like that's what I feel every time I go on a photo walk early in the morning.
Mm. Yeah, no, for sure. And in terms of tourism, I'm guessing like summer is like the peak time for people to come by, or are there any times of the year that they have also people like coming by there?
During winters, for this Christmas markets, there's a lot of tourists for the winter markets as well during Christmas.
Oh, is it like a famous attraction that a lot of people come to?
Yeah, it's the same as in Vienna or some places in Germany, that people travel to those places, or even somewhere in France for these like Christmas markets. So yeah, they come a lot for that one year.
Oh yeah, no, that definitely looks like it. Do you think you'll always stay in Prague, or do you have any other locations in Europe that you'd like to reside in?
There are so many places, to be honest. Like it's um, not only like one place. You know, like I think like having grown up as a kid, that you've traveled all, you know, traveled a lot and have lived in a lot of places, I still feel like I have this like kind of like nomadic spirit in me, that you know wants to see the world and wants to be in different places. But for now, Prague is home. It's I feel like it's home. You know, I love the city, but I would definitely love to be somewhere else to, you know, like just see the city, see the culture, try the food, document places. It always interesting for me, like to go and see different side of the world, different part of the world, live there. It's always something that really excites me, to be honest.
Any spots in particular that you have in mind?
That's a tough one. Here in Europe, I would say probably south of Spain, Sicily, and some parts of Italy as well. So those places for sure. Portugal as well.
Yeah, if I could recommend anywhere in Spain, I was in Valencia some time ago. Not as big of a town as, like, let's say, Barcelona, but it's still very beautiful, especially around the canals where they have these. This is from like the old castles that they had built. They have these giant, basically like watchtowers. Yeah, here they are. Yeah, these are like the what used to be around the walls of the castle, and you can actually go up there and explore them. Um, and they're kind of littered around the city there, where the border used to be, which is very medieval, as you said there. But then once you go in, there's all these like tight, winding streets, all these little cafes and schools, even, and like clothing shops and restaurants. Um, you could very easily like get lost here, but I had a lot of fun going there. And there's all these like street art and graffiti there. There's always just like life around the corner. And they also have a very cool uh, modern architecture side to it. Let me see if I can find the Valencia. I think it's the Science Museum. Yeah, there's not a lot of good views of it, unfortunately. Or actually, yes. Yeah. So obviously, like, inspired by modern architecture, but it doesn't like really take anything away from the city itself. Um,
Yeah.
it's very beautiful just walking through these giant buildings, because like I'm based in North America and Canada, and we we do not have this type of architecture, just because, well, really bad winters, so all of this would just freeze and get damaged over
Mm.
time, so we have to build something that can last all the seasons. But in a place like Valencia, where that isn't a problem, it's very beautiful to see. Like, I don't know, just genuinely shocked that they were able to make this like a museum. Like, we have like some pretty museums here, but like nothing on this scale, um, or this kind of design where it looks like it's basically from the future.
Yeah. It looks nice. For sure, looks nice. When you were going around it, I could imagine myself like walking around those alleys. These like I saw these like patches of light and everything, and looks really nice. I've had like couple of friends that traveled to Valencia, and they were like, if you would like to go somewhere else, and if you're planning to go somewhere in Spain, they were like, go to Valencia. It's really nice. I've heard like good stuff about Valencia.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. People are like very friendly. It was very safe. Didn't really have any issues there, and there's always something to do. Um, like I said, every like other winding street, like, you'll find like all the restaurants, and then you'll walk out, and there's like a clearing with some like historical building, and people are just like sitting in cafes, or riding mopeds or what have you. Yeah, it was easily like one of my favorite places that I've been to in Europe so far. Um, or yeah, like even like a square like this, people can just kind of walk around and see all the historical sites, and then get a nice little cafe, have a cappuccino, smoke a cigarette. Oh, it's beautiful. I thoroughly enjoyed it, so I definitely recommend you go there if you get the chance.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is definitely one of the places that I would love to go, and yeah, like it'll be on my list, like top of the list for next year. Saving my holidays for Nepal this year, but for sure next year's Valencia probably one of those places, and maybe somewhere in Italy as well. because
Yeah.
it's not so far away from us to like for us to travel from like here to Spain, or it's just couple of hours of flight, you know. And the prices are so cheap that you can get flights for like uh 50 euros, you know, so it's super cheap also, kind of, it's not so far away.
Oh wow, only 50 euros. That's pretty good. Yeah, I don't think there would be a
Yeah, you
train
can
that
find
takes you all the way there, but yeah.
yeah, you can find cheap tickets here within Europe to each other, so that's nice. I think like maybe not to Valencia directly, but you can go somewhere, fly somewhere close and then drive there even.
Yeah, and the one other good thing about it is that they have a really good high speed rail network. So even if you just like want to land in Valencia but you want to go to other cities, they're like all very like close by. It's only like a couple of hours, like maybe two or something like that, to get to a place like Barcelona. Like we took a day trip there, and it took us, yeah, I want to say about like maybe 2 maximum 3 hours by train, just going there one way. So even, yeah, like I said, even if you don't, if you want to end up like traveling elsewhere, it's very easy to get around there as well.
Yeah.
Right on. So in terms of the kind of work that you're doing now, are you like mostly focused on that, as you said before, on like the Web3 stuff, or do you have like collections of photos that you're still working on at the moment to release?
Like waiting to release as like NFTs or like just in general.
No, no, just like your body of work. Like what is it that you're working on these days?
I'm actually working on a curation for a new series that I haven't titled or anything. Haven't even like written descriptions. I'm just like going through a curation process of trying to fit pieces together. But the idea is like have like do this like really minimal kind of compositions that I have with like high contrast, and so that just curating pieces for that one. And also currently speaking with a gallery here in Prague for a possible exhibition. We still haven't nailed it down properly, but we had like first round of talks. um, so we'll need to curate for that one as well. It will be probably the rough date is around end of August. So been working around on those, and also like I do portraits for people here in Prague. Like I do outdoor portraits. um, and like I also like like need to sit down and edit on those and everything. So but for my work, I'm like on still on the curation process for the new one.
Gotcha. And this gallery showing, would this be your first one that you've done, or have you had gallery showings before?
Like digitally, yes, but physical, this will be the first one.
Oh, okay. So you've had your work showcased, like in, I'm guessing, like in crypto events or NFT events for your digital works.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. And I'm guessing like, so you're gonna be putting them up for sale, like the physical prints.
Yes, yes. The idea is like to have like showcase the prints and then like have prints to sell or something like this. Yeah.
And how did you come about the opportunity for the gallery? Was it just, as you said, like networking, and then eventually the right person heard of you, or?
Yeah, it was like all networking. It was on. It's always about networking. It's just you go meet with people, and then it's just a friend of a friend who knows a curator, and then the curator knows somebody that runs a gallery, and it's always like this. So yeah, like I found out about this gallery, and they're doing like lot of like performance art, physical like prints and everything. So I attended some of them, and I met the guy, and he was like really nice. We hung around a while, and and you have friends that like see your work, and they're like, hey, like have you thought about this artist? Like, I like his work and everything. People say like one or two good stuff about you, and they'd be like, hey, like, are you interested? How have you thought about like doing an exhibition? So yeah, that was like how it came about.
Nice, nice. That's great to hear. I hope the exhibition goes well. I hope all your pieces sell out.
I hope so. I hope that too, for sure. I would love it. But I mean, it's just nice in general, to like put be able to like put your pieces up, talk about it, get to know people. I think like it really helps. Like it really helps you on your journey as an artist. It's not like you need validations or anything, but it just feels nice when uh, you know you feel like, yeah, people came and saw my work, even if it's just one or two, it doesn't matter. But it's just you putting your work out there and talking about it, and having people come see it. It means a lot, I think, for any artist. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope like we'll be like able to make it happen. I mean, we're just in the process of like talking about it, have rough dates if we will do it, if the guy in the gallery will decide to do it. But I hope like we would be able to do it. It'll be really nice. Like, I'll be super excited for sure.
Yeah, right on. Do you mind if we just take a quick 5 minute break here?
Yeah, no, it's
Perfect. Okay, we'll be back, guys. All right, and we're back.
we are back. We are back.
Perfect. So yeah, I'm excited to hear about that exhibition. Come August. That's awesome that you're having your first one there, and that's sure to open doors for future exhibitions too. You never know where that could take you.
Yeah, yeah, I'm really excited about it as well. I think like um and you nailed it when you said, it's, I mean, it's always special for anybody like to have their work exhibited. It's always like everybody's dream, I would say, to have their work exhibited. But also like it opens a lot of, I think, like if like when you make the right connections, like it can open you a lot of doors. And it's just nice, like it's just nice and nice. And then like for me, like I think like for me it's even like kind of like it works because I tend to like sit with my work a lot, and sometimes like I'm guilty of like not putting my not finishing pieces or not finishing like series and putting it out there. And when like stuff like this happens, and like you get this kind of opportunity, it's like like it pushes you to, all right, now I need to do something. Like I have to start doing something, putting like stuff together, and hope like hope that I'm not gonna like screw it up and everything. So yeah, it's nice in that sense too.
Yeah, right on. Now, in terms of the work that you're doing for Web3, we were talking about it before the stream there. So you said you're part of the writing team for Exchange Art, and then that you, let me see here, and you work for the Pointless Gallery. So what can you tell me about these two here?
Yeah. So the Pointless Gallery is an initiative by Sashaku. He's a collector in the space, and he's been collecting art pieces from amazing artists in the space. And he has like quite a bit of vault to choose from. And the idea is also to make an online virtual gallery out of it, and put those pieces in those galleries. And like in the future, like maybe do online exhibitions around it, like host like virtual events. And the main goal is to like highlight artists, and like showcase like art, and like bring more eyes to the artist and to the other works they have. But also at the same time, the collection Sasha has, like um about him as a collector, and like what drives him also. So yeah, like it's some project we've been working on for a few months. And at the same time, like we are also growing the Pointless vault as well. Like we are buying pieces from like artists that we really resonate with the ethos. And so yeah, like it's really interesting, and happy to be part of it, like just trying to put like what to post, like engaging with the community members. And so it's been fun with Pointless. So that is basically what I do with Pointless.
Gotcha, gotcha. So you guys are building a collection of works that you're later going to exhibit in, like, I'm guessing an online gallery. It's not going to be in person.
Yeah, for now it's that's the plan, like to have it in an online gallery.
Oh, okay, okay. And is there like specific like themes or artists that you guys are focusing on, or just whatever you like and well, whatever Sasha Ku likes there?
Well, of course, like it's gonna be like curated for sure. But he's like collected artwork from like all genres, like not only photography but digital art, paintings, like anything you can imagine. Like he's collected like all pieces there. And we just wanna. The idea is to like highlight as many pieces as we can, and but in a way that you are able to curate them, and then it still feels good together. Like of course we are not going to be able to put all the pieces at the same time, but the running idea right now is to like do thematic exhibitions where you can bring pieces that fits together. Like maybe it's a um, like autumn themed, or just trees or leaves, greens. So you can like do like thematic, and then include like all of the pieces from the vault eventually, and give more eyes to the artist.
I see. And how is it that someone even comes about being a collector? I'm guessing in the digital space it's a lot easier if you're able to like trade in crypto and make your money like that. But I can't say I've ever really met somebody that's an art collector. My image of someone that does that is like someone that has like a lot of money, generational wealth that came from like their parents or the business that they own, and now in their old age they decide to collect art, part of it because it's good like money, and if you're lucky to get a certain piece. But like, what is it that you can tell me about like how like someone even becomes a collector now? Is there like a certain like path to it? Is there like a business behind it, or how does it work?
And I think like the word collector is like whatever pieces. Like even if you collect like two pieces, you're still a collector because you collected stuff. But I think in Web3, you would say a vast majority of collectors are collectors that in the space that started with like um, putting money as investment, and then like when the initial boom happened, now they suddenly came face to face with art and artists and NFTs, and it was something that was part of the culture they are already in, and they kind of saw value in it and started like investing in art and artists. So that is like one, I would say, like one ways of like collectors onboarded in the space. But also I think like you have like traditional collectors that been collecting like photo prints and everything, and they got onboarded as well as collectors, because at the end of the day, like all creatives, they not only bring themselves to any platform they go to, they bring along the fan base they have, or the collector base they have as well. And like I'm sure there are like a lot of artists that were doing really good in Web 2, that had like really good network in Web 2, and then when they branched in Web 3, they brought along their collectors as well. Like for example, I would say like Magnum did drops. I'm sure they brought a lot of collectors from the Web 2 as well. So yeah, like I don't think like there is set of like you have to be rich, this that to only be a collector. But there's so many vast like works there. Like you can become a collector too. Like Like I collect some pieces, you know, so I can call myself a collector too. It's just something that we all are like. But yeah, I don't think there is a specific to it that you have to be this rich or investors to be like collector. But in the initial phase, like the lot of collectors we have are the ones that were in the space. I think like who came in as like investors and got introduced into the part of the culture and art and artists.
Yeah, because I see here from like the pieces that he owns, it's a very, very wide range of works, whether it's 3D modeling or photography or collage work. It's there's not really as like a singular theme. It's just most likely just what he likes, what kind of stuff he vibes with, and I can't really tell like which of this is AI art versus actually made by a person, but some of these are actually pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. The vault is like fully loaded with all kind of art. You know, you have this um, cartoonish PFPs to really serious photography, animations, like anything you can imagine. Like he has it. Like from really top notch artists to like legendary photographers to upcoming and emerging artists as well.
I see, I see. So once this goes live, is there a timeline for this for when you guys are going to be like getting a site together and everything, or
Yeah, we are currently waiting on for the online gallery because we do have this parcel created like we bought in the metaverse and we just need some updating, and I'm just waiting for to get instructions from my team members like, hey, everything is ready and we will start beginning. So it's all on them. But yeah, like we are waiting on the online galleries to have it like up and running. No, but for now, like I'm like we're just running through Twitter, and then yeah, like just collecting pieces and trying to put our own thoughts to about the space, you know, like motivating artists and doing write-ups and everything.
yeah? This one actually, by Anaconda. I actually had her on the show a couple days ago. That's interesting that he actually collected one of her pieces.
There's a whole series of Anaconda's work he's collected, and I actually went through that session before I jumped to this interview today. I was like, and I wanted to see what were the other previous interviews done, the podcast done, and I saw Anaconda, and I was like, aha, so this is interesting. All right, let me have a listen to it, and it was really nice hearing about her work and everything, like her voice, because yeah, like we've done write-offs about her for Sasha's Vault actually.
Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah, it's quite the connection. Yeah, she's one of the more like interesting people that I've ever talked to in my life. Like not even like artists aside, just someone that has had such a varied career. And when she was starting to talk about like NFTs and like how she publishes in that space, it just surprised me because I don't really know a lot of people her age that are in the scene. It's mostly just like, young people like maybe 30s, 40s or something like that, but someone that's like such an accomplished artist like her. I mean, she was an actress, she worked in the circus, she's done photography, she's worked with just about every like artistic medium that there is, and now she's in the digital landscape with NFTs. It was just really cool to learn about her journey going throughout all that. And I didn't even realize, like, I saw another interview that she just had with a magazine where it talked about like her ex-husband who also did work for like Kanye West for his album art years ago, and like all these other works that he's done. I didn't realize that like who I was talking to. I didn't realize that she was like so accomplished and just so prolific with her creativity.
For sure, like her artwork is amazing. Her artwork is amazing. Like when I didn't know about her as well, and when I started working with Pointless, we did this like deep dive on Sasha's Vault, trying to curate artworks for like artist highlight and write ups. and then came across her work and read about bit about her and everything, and she's amazing. She's amazing. Her work is top notch.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's a creative through and through. She just likes making stuff, and she said that it hurts when she's not making stuff, so she's like constantly just compelled to just whatever medium. It doesn't matter. She just got to make stuff, which is yeah, which is just really cool. So when you guys have this gallery set up and running, is it like you're just gonna be featuring like artists every week? Are you gonna be having like online events? Are you gonna set up like some kind of virtual world where people can like actually walk through the gallery and see it, or what do you guys envision?
Um, I'm not the like head team member, so I don't know like the much more like depth of what they actually want to do. But from what I know is, um, they do want to like have like online events where you not only like have artwork that's there, but they really want people to hang around, like host like events in like metaverse, and just walk through, like kind of like what you do in real life, but you're just doing it virtually. And it would be the same as a normal exhibition for sure. Like those are the kind of like events they are planning. And also, like last time I spoke with them, with the team, and we were like, what is the next move, and what are the things that could be done, because we are always talking about like what next to do. And so we were speaking about maybe some like in real life events also, or like meetups, or like anything, like we're just like throwing like random ideas, like brainstorming what could be next, digital zines, or like books, or like collective calendars, or anything. So like it's also so many things are possible, but for now, like the main important thing is to like have the gallery up and running, and like put artworks there for people to see.
Gotcha, gotcha. Yeah, because it reminded me of a project that I had stumbled upon a couple months back. I actually was lucky enough to do an interview with the host of it. They're essentially making it so that you can have, and this is all built on the Solana blockchain too. Um, you can have like a virtual world that you can access directly through your Discord. So there's no need to install any additional apps or anything like that. You would sign in with your wallet, and then they're essentially making a virtual space where people can have this like little avatar. And right now, obviously, like you can tell it's in beta because this isn't really finished, but you would have different rooms for different apps. So one of the apps that they're working on is like some kind of an ebook distributor that is working to make ebooks just more interesting to read. So it's not just like words on a page, and then you have like actual like visuals. And like you'd say like you go into a room, and you can do that. You can read them, or like be part of like some kind of a reading club. Or even for artists, they're looking to like create space for art galleries for people to showcase their NFTs. And it's all like native through Discord, so it's very very easy to use. And you'd be able to like just have these rooms that you can go in between, and whether it's like play games or socialize or what have you. They're essentially working on creating this community where people can showcase their projects. Now I want to see if I can find a better video of a walkthrough of the space, because I know that it's still in development, but I figured it would be right up your alley. Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah.
Looks really nice though. And you said like you don't need to install anything, you just go
Nope.
directly from your Discord.
Natively run through
That's nice.
Discord. Natively run through Discord. So you would have like, I don't know what this is, maybe some kind of game or something. But yeah, like you would have like all these different servers that you can be a part of. Um, you just like walk around, and you can go to like a gallery. Yeah, see like people showcasing their NFTs, and like you can buy it or bid it, or what have you. So I don't know if that's like a contact worth reaching out to, but that's just someone that like I interviewed a while back, and they're working on like building a world that would essentially help host like many of these apps, or like the websites or what have you. so they can showcase like as many projects as possible that exist on the Solana blockchain.
That's so cool though. I really like these like ideas, and like especially with these like online galleries. I mean, it's so fun. Like for me, I feel like it's so fun. It doesn't have to be just like collector and artist related and stuff like this, because I live abroad, right? I live abroad, and like I know a lot of my friends, they live abroad as well, and we don't have time to catch up on a lot of stuff like we used to do back home when we were young and everything. But sometimes you still want to like hang, like have this like group chat, like group call, talk to each other and say, like hello to your like old friends and everything.
Hmm.
And like places like this, it can like really make sense, because like you say, all right, I'm going to send you this link to this gallery, you all join there, and you can like look at my work as well. Like it's not like you guys care, because your best friends, who knows you from like really young, they give you a lot of stick for your work. But like it's nice to even like bring like family and friends to spaces like this, and like have a normal chat you would have, but you just have your art around, like. So I see it in like that way, and it's always nice to see like these like up and coming people building like a lot of new stuff around. I didn't know about this, but I'm sure like I will definitely get this info from you about it, and how can I get in, and how can I like see what they are doing and stuff like this.
Yeah, yeah, and like this is a version of like their audiobook room, so you could like walk in and listen to books. Because
Yeah,
as it stands right now, it's like when I'm at the gallery, like this is nice and all, that I can see all these works and scroll through it, but like it's flat. There's no interaction with it. Like if I click on a piece, like
yeah,
there's no comments, like there's no discussion to make. It's just me making an offer to the artist or to whoever holds the piece. Um, but there's not really like a level of interaction that goes beyond that. I mean, I might as well be scrolling on Instagram, you know. It's basically the
yeah,
same thing, except here I can actually buy it. But something like this, where you can actually like go around and physically like see the work um, and actually enjoy it in a different light. Let me see here. Yeah, like where you can actually like see the work from different angles or talk like see that other people are looking at it as well and have some kind of a discussion on it, like that's cool. Or even like if the artist is hanging in that room, you can ask them questions about the work and what inspired them, because here like, oh, I got to figure out who the artist is, got to find their DMs and have like to message them, find a time to talk, like it's not as accessible.
yeah, 100%, 100%. Like it just adds, I think like it adds um a different kind of layer to your work, and it's like it's a different way of for people to experience your work. It's Yeah, like I think like we still have a long way to go in terms of like online galleries and stuff, but it's really exciting, that you are part of it this early, and you are experiencing stuff that in the future you're hoping it might, that everybody will be using. And it's just exciting, um like right now, the time, like as a creative, like in Web3, it's you have so many things at your disposal, like not only in terms of like showing your work on social media, and but also like in like virtual galleries, and yeah, it's so exciting, to be honest. It's really nice. Completely agree with you.
Yeah, and then if you guys do ever think about creating a physical space, I actually interviewed Baku a while back, who is the owner of a gallery in Montreal by the name of Suburbs Gallery, and so they have this space where they show off all these digital works, and it's essentially like this, like a little space with like rotating screens where people can just simply host their digital works there, whether it's animated or a still photo, um, which I'd imagine like not really all that difficult to set up, and it gives you the freedom to put whichever work you want, so you don't have to deal with prints or anything like that. And they work essentially like kind of in the same way that you guys would want to work. So her and her partner get together like once a week. They curate the artists that they want to show, and then that's who's going to be on the floor for the week. And then they help link buyers to the artists themselves, and they discuss the fees and price and all that. So they kind of they're facilitating essentially what you guys are getting at too.
Yeah, I've heard about Suburbs Gallery. I've seen like posts about it on Twitter, and yeah, it looks really interesting. You know, there are I think like there are a few more. This Journey Gallery as well. I think it's in Vegas. They have this physical gallery where they are showcasing work from like Web3 artists. It's nice, like it's nice, you know, like um being able to like change your artwork and everything. It's just different way of experiencing it. um but like the only thing I would like to add um more about like the digital, like this, like in real life s- digital galleries would be like having like some kind of like physical aspect to the galleries, you know, like because at the end of the day you're still looking at art on a screen, and you know
Mm-hmm.
it still feels like you are doing it on a phone. But like you can have combine it, you know, like it's not like I'm saying like get rid of it completely, but combining it with like some kind of like physical aspect to it, you know. That would be nice, because I feel like in Web3 we still have like hard time getting people walking in from the streets to those galleries, because to them it just feels completely different and they don't connect with it at all. You know, it's just we live in our like we Web3 people, we live in our own bubble, and like having like some kind of like physical aspect to it would be the way. But yeah, like it's really nice like to see all of these things like coming up, the Suburb Gallery, Journey Gallery, and also I think like Art Crush Gallery.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of also do like physicals, and they're doing artworks on the billboards and the train stops, tram stops. So it's really interesting, like you know, like I said, it's one of the best times to be an artist right now, because you have all these things going up, and you know, like your artwork can be seen in different countries, like in places you've not been. So it's really nice seeing all of these.
Yeah, right on. And what can you tell me about the work that you guys do at Exchange Art?
Exchange Art is basically a marketplace on Solana, and artists can go sign up for to you know sign up on the account, and you can sign up and you can like start creating. There is no barriers to it. There is no curation hoops you need to jump through. Anything you're free to create or to collect. And yeah, it's just like a marketplace for artists, all kind of like artworks. But and the only thing like we are trying to do is because there is so many artworks being minted on it daily, you know, like it's like hard to like run through like everything, you know. And so the best thing we can do is like try to highlight artists or artwork that we feel is good artwork, you know, like regardless if they are emerging artists or like well established artists, you know, like we're not looking at who the um artist is, but like what the art is, you know, like what it means to like us individually. And so that is it. And like the thing is like we all have our own creative freedom, you know, like there is like for my role there is no restrictions on the artist. That I have no guidelines that I have to feature this artist or that artist in my write-ups or anything. So there is a lot of things that are happening behind the scenes, and it's really exciting. Like it's a like artist-led initiative, you know, like with spaces happening about not only art in general, but like how to make it as an artist, you know, like critiques about the work, like healthy feedbacks and everything. So that is all that has been happening behind exchange art. But exchange art for itself is just a marketplace on Solana where you can like mint, create, and buy artworks basically.
Gotcha, gotcha. And like, what is it that um that kind of started this project for you guys? Just because I'd imagine there's already quite a few people that exist in this space, and the market's already there. So like, what is it that can separate you guys from like some of the other galleries that are or marketplaces rather that host this kind of stuff?
Mm, like I think like for me, I would say like I started as an artist in this space, and I've minted artworks across like various blockchains, like ETH, on OpenSea, on Maker's Place. I was minting work on Tezos blockchain, on Object. Um, on Avalanche, so like these like various blockchains and platforms. And so I've like had the opportunity like to see like experience like other marketplaces and all. But with exchange art, I think like what it is trying to do to separate itself is like do more than the basics, like mostly most of the platforms is highlighting only let's say the artists that are already selling a lot of work, like the popular ones, the trending ones. You have them on the homepage, um, and everything. But there is N- I haven't seen or I haven't experienced anybody writing about artists that is not trending on the homepage, and doing write-ups about them, about their series and stuff like this. So like that is like one thing I really take pride in, that me as a part of a writing team, I am like writing about artists that aren't so well known. Maybe they only have like couple of hundred of followers. Nobody knows in the space, but I feel the work is amazing, and doing write-ups about on behalf of the platform, and the platform kind of retweets it and everything, so it has more visibility. We are hoping gets more visibility. So it's that one, like I said, spaces. But a lot of things are building. Like now we just the platform just did where you can buy Sol and US, like you can price your artwork on Solana and on USDC as well. And there are a lot more features that has is being like worked on. And yeah, I think it's going to be really exciting when that feature like really comes up and running, like everything is updated. So it's really exciting.
Right on. And so you guys, you mentioned you do spaces. Would you guys ever consider like doing interviews with the artist, and then also like including them in the in like the NFT that's purchased, like an explanation from the artist and what this piece was and what the inspiration is behind it and all that?
The artist, yes, I think there are already spaces that like interviews like artists and highlights artists. But I think in terms of like as a platform, we like hosting a space from the Exchange Arts Twitter account, and then talking about like host like doing artist interviews and like talking about their soul pieces or stuff like this. It hasn't been done yet, and maybe the team will do it later on. But it's just not my department right now at all. Like the spaces host, they have their own team, and they are working on their own side, and we are just like on the writing side of it. Focus on writing. But I know like they are doing like different styles of Twitter spaces every week. There is five, I think like six artists that are hosting like Twitter spaces on different topics.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Okay. And do you find these days that the market, like, is there any concern about it being like oversaturated of like too many creators and not enough buyers? Because I've heard that from some people in the space.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure. You definitely feel there is a lot more creators than there are actually buyers in the space, and at one point you could like really feel it when the market was not doing well in general. The cryptos and everything was not doing it well. You could feel it. There was a movement around, and yeah, this one I think like we just need as a space to like have a different approach on onboarding people. But for sure right now I think there's just too many artworks and creatives if you compare it to the collectors.
Yeah, because I figured the people that initially got into this whole market were people that like were really in tune with the crypto space and NFTs and all that, that actually had the digital wallets and held the different currencies. But now, like, until more and more people adopt this technology, like everyday people, um, it it doesn't feel like there's going to be like a boom in the market until some kind of mass adoption by people. Because I don't know anybody that's, in my everyday life, family or friends that would go out of their way to like to buy an NFT or be a collector or anything like that. I mean, unless it was literally just to flip it and make money. Um, so I don't know what that would look like in terms of getting more people to sign in on this. Um, because as it stands right now, there doesn't seem to be, at least from my perspective, like a lot of utility in owning these things. Like unless you're going to flip it, I'm sure it's like it's nice to have, and you can showcase it and prove that you own it. But beyond that, if you're not somebody that is like super enthusiastic about art or about collecting, I don't know how it would make it so that like the market grows and so that more people are involved. Do you guys have any ideas on that or?
Like as a marketplace, as a marketplace, I think the idea would be um to onboard, like have more artists on the platform, and um have people minting on it. But I like I think like one of the things that kind of like really interest me is like you can do so much with NFTs, right? Like whatever photos you post on Instagram or any social media platforms, you don't get paid to post any of them. But I think with the help of like NFTs, you can like you can even have it as like rewards for like fan bases, where you can airdrop it to their wallets, and like people can support you, like you mint an artwork like how you would post it on Instagram, but like have like really low entry price like $1 or like. So I don't know, like it just could be like random stuff, and like if you have enough you can still make something out of it. So I think like this is like something for the future. I would say like we would need like a lot more people to on board eventually, um, who's not even like interested in art, but just wants to support the artist or loves the story of a creative. Because people are already doing it right now, like people are tipping people on TikToks and all of that as well. Like it's not that they are collector of any kind, but they just do it because they love the creator and the personality of the creator or the story of a creator. So I don't know why it cannot have this that cannot happen in the NFT space as well. But yeah, like saying that also, um, it's it kind of like I would say the balance is really overwhelming right now, because the artwork that is being created and minted is
Mm-hmm.
a lot, and for like limited number of people being in the space as a collector to collect all of them, it puts a lot of burden on them as well. Like as a collect, they cannot collect every piece, and so like the flood of artwork coming out, and the pace at which collectors are collecting is not there, but I think in general, like I hope that people will be more careful with their artwork and be more intentional with the pieces that will they will mint. um, and that can like little bit ease on like collectors as well, because like right now, like you have like artworks being pumped out all the time, and um it has to be like there has to be like some kind of like thought process behind the art pieces you like they put it out there. It's not because you have to and you can. It's just and there has to be like some curation and thought process into it. But I think like over time, it will happen, and it'll be like much better seen for artists and collectors out there.
Yeah, because like I have some like photography work that I've done before that I mean I figure somebody would want to buy it, and I don't mind making some extra money on the side. So I'd like to maybe post them up on some marketplace eventually. Um, but there is that divide between like the average everyday person and ownership of NFTs. But as you said, like it's sometimes it's not about like we don't necessarily have to focus on like the average person. If we just get enough artists in the space, people that are already enthusiastic about not only making art but enjoying it, they'll be buying work from each other and selling it to each other. And for now, that might be enough, until we have like ATMs on every street corner where people can like buy, Solana, Ethereum, or what have you, or even buy like NFTs right then and there, until like there's some kind of like mass adoption. So like in the meantime, maybe the artists they're actually enough. It's enough to get those people on the platform first because they're the ones that actually care about art in the first place.
100%. I think like 100%. That is like one really good way to look at it. Like you as a creative can have a physical print or like physical painting pieces. It's just like NFT is just another place where you can like put your artwork. It's just diversifying what you're doing, like, because I think a lot of creatives um are doing like many things, like making bags, like t-shirts, like printing on metal plates, papers and everything. So like there are, like you said, there are people already in the space that um, enjoys collecting NFTs, enjoys looking at them, like talking about them. So it is another, let's say, um like another good way for you as a creative to like put your work out there, and like have like more eyes on you as a creative, because the more eyes you have on you, it gets easier for you. So like, all, like I said, like everything is a tool for a creative, like the social media platforms, online galleries, marketplaces, all this. At the end of the day, if we look at it from a bigger picture, is just somewhere you can put your artwork so people can see you and hear about you and your story. So I mean, we just and like as an artist, like you just take advantage of it.
Yeah, right on. So we're nearing the 2 hour mark here. Is there anything else that you wanted to discuss before we finish?
Wow, like 2 hours just flew by. It really flew by.
Right?
But yeah, no, I'm yeah, like we talked a lot. I didn't even realize like it was like 2 hours. Like it just flew by.
Yeah, yeah. No,
But yeah,
it
like
goes
if you
goes goes by quick.
yeah, but if you have like any questions or anything you would like ask me, I'm down to answer it.
Yeah, no, nothing else in mind. I was just wondering if you had anything else that you had on your mind there. But otherwise, we can just finish up here. Now, in terms of your socials, everyone can find you at Frames by Vic. That's it for like Instagram as well, I'm guessing.
It's dot Vic. The somebody already took that handle, and I think it's been used by somebody that is like inactive, so I cannot even reach out to that person and say, hey, like, can you give me that handle? But it's
Uh,
just the same as dot Vic.
Gotcha. Yeah. So yeah, you guys can check him out on Twitter. Got all the links there with his link tree at Frames by Vic VIK. He also works for Exchange Art and Pointless OX, which, as we talked about, they're working on curating a whole slew of works from a range of different artists. So yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys come up with here. What kind of a space you guys want to do. I wish you the best of luck with your exhibition coming up in August. I hope you sell out all your pieces, and I hope it leads you to better opportunities in the future as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mark, for having me. And yeah, it was a pleasure to talk to you. Just like talk about a little bit about myself and like what I do and everything. And yeah, like thank you so much. Like it just flew by. You're an amazing host. And yeah, I'm really grateful that like I was like my work got on your timeline and you saw it and then you reached out. I'm really grateful for it, for you to like host this one and spend give your time to me. And yeah, thank you so much. It was amazing.
Right on, yeah, it was a fun time. So yeah, guys, check them out, show them some love, buy some pieces if you can, and yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for another interview. And yeah, just pay attention to the timeline. We have everything posted there. So with that, I hope you guys have a rest of a good day.